Welcome, scintillating spirits. If this reached your page, trust that this message is for you. You were called here for a reason. This is a reading for the full moon lunar eclipse that is happening in Virgo at 3:33 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, March 2nd. If you are unaware of the power of lunar eclipses and the energy of eclipses in general, rest assured that while chaotic, it is always in service of our best interest and of our best self. And this one in particular is in the very detail-oriented Virgo. And so it's showing us what we can be releasing, what we can be composting in our life, especially in the interest of coming back to ourselves and feeling whole, feeling organized, feeling like our full selves, our full, very capable selves. Actually, at the bottom of this deck, we have the Hanged Man, which is all about release. It's all about the control that we have. We see this halo underneath his head that indicates that there's this divine knowledge that comes with being able to let go. Again, in the way that this is illustrated, he's holding himself up with this string over here. And in letting go, instead of hanging, he recognizes that he has so much more power. There's power in letting go, and I think that that's something that's going to be especially important for you for this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. We got the World that popped out with the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So the World is all about coming to that full circle moment. Whoever this group is, you are somebody who has gone through a very intense chapter in your life. There have been a lot of closed doors is what I feel, as well as a lot of open doors in terms of opportunity, but in particular, it feels like you've reached the end of some type of cycle. You're coming into this ending of a chapter and this feeling of completion and this feeling of fullness. And so this full moon is calling for you to do that reflection, and a big part of that is going to be doing the rest needed to be able to come to that space of understanding what all this cycle, this turn around the clock for you meant. So with that, really making sure that you're resting. The sign of Virgo rules over our digestive system, and so this is a really great time to do a spiritual cleanse of sorts and really allow yourself to digest all that you have just gone through. But in general, the fact that the World came up and that Four of Swords is at the bottom in asking what this lunar eclipse has to show you, it very much is this idea that you've really completed a very significant chapter in your life, a very significant cycle, and this full moon in this lunar eclipse is showing you what all this means moving forward. It's given you this confidence with this Queen of Wands, this new found pep in your step, but that doesn't feel sufficient for what this feels like. It feels like you've stepped into a whole different version of yourself. Like, I'm seeing visually somebody who has lights underneath their feet, like as in every step that you take leaves this like beautiful golden light footstep behind you, and it leaves a trail for others to follow as well, for other people, like you're empowering other people, which feels really exciting. But there's just this like you're empowering other people, but more importantly, it feels like whoever you are and whatever version of yourself that you've now reached, where you are now would make little you so proud. And so there's this like owning of the confidence of all that you've gone through, of all that you've done, of all of who you've become. And it's so exciting. And it's this very celebratory energy. We got the Three of Cups. This is definitely, oh my, this is so beautiful. Usually, I mean, and it remains still, right? Lunar eclipses and eclipses in general tend to be very chaotic, and it feels very just like where the tree branches like just beckoning and bending to the will of the wind, and we just have to like allow ourselves to let it go. And sometimes that can be a lot of disarray, but like this moment for you, whoever you are, it's such a relief. Like all of the little things have shaken away. It's giving this energy of it's the end of the winter season, and that those little bits of snow are being like washed away with the wind, and they're being carried away, and there's this light feeling to you, and it's just so exciting. It feels very, very celebratory. We have the Four of Wands at the bottom, which is all about celebration. It's all about reunion. whoever you are, this lunar eclipse, it has so much in store for you in the way of creation, in the way of a new start, in the way of confidence. We got the Page of Cups with the Seven of Swords at the bottom. It seems like maybe in the past you have dealt with people who are not trustworthy, people who are deceptive, people who would take advantage of you and your good heart and your good faith, but this is something that's of the past, right? Now you're in this space where you no longer see yourself surrounded by these people. This energy is no longer trying to leech onto you. And that's not to say that you won't ever encounter deceptive people ever again in your life, but it is to say that you, like this Page of Cups, are really coming into, especially with this eclipse, there's this new energy of stepping into creativity and to loving relationships and being curious about them and trying new things and really embracing that confident version of yourself. Let's see if there's any final messages that your guides have for you. One of them flipped and fell. Two of them fell onto the ground. Give me a second. Okay. You got the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Two of Cups. Stop. With the I don't know who you are. I'm so glad I pulled for you all. Holy fucking. Holy. And I can't, it didn't come up, but I can see this and I bet you it's the star. It's the star, which is hope. Okay. Wow. Whoever you are, you are entering a whole new season of your life. I'm just always prepared, especially when it comes to eclipse energy, for things to be a little chaotic and for it to be like, okay, you're leaving this, but you're really stepping into a new and beautiful season of your life. And you're coming into that power. This cycle, whatever chapter you're closing, it's led you to this understanding of your masterful manifesting ability, the fact that you are a master manifester. You are coming into this divine feminine. The High Priestess is the two sides of the divine feminine within the major arcana of tarot, the other one being the Empress, and it's a very internal energy. It's a understanding that sometimes you go within and you allow the blessings to come to you, but with this counterbalance of the very masculine magician who is very much like ego and like the go-getter and being able to take and discern all that is given to you from the spiritual realm and make it real down in the physical realm. It feels like you're really learning how to balance those two energies of when and where you act and manifest with intention, and also knowing that when you call those things, when you call these resources and you're saying, I'm making this now, like I am bringing this into life, I am molding the clay and this is coming into my physical reality, that you get to sit back and allow and watch yourself, watch those things just come into form and coalesce, knowing that and trusting that divine feminine wisdom. And you don't have to be a woman to have divine feminine wisdom. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine. But in particular also, especially with this Page of Cups here, that Two of Cups, you have a new romance in particular coming in, a new relationship coming in. This could be a partnership. This feels very romantic. It could be, for some of you, it could be like a business partnership, but for a lot of you, it feels like a new romantic love interest or an infusion of love in your existing relationship if you're somebody who is already partnered. But this is this infusion of love with that, I believe it was the sun at the bottom. You're coming into such a beautiful moment of your life. This lunar eclipse is really just allowing you to shake off all of the remnants of that previous chapter of your life, and so that you can grow into this new version of you. So exciting. Let's see what divine act of self-care is going to be especially important for you for this time period, especially as you're allowing these old things to shake away. Wow. So I guess in terms of what you're releasing, I think you're just saying goodbye to that last chapter that you're closing out. I think it feels very like you're allowing yourself to compost. You're allowing the lessons, you're allowing yourself to reflect on the lessons that have come to you through this most recent cycle, and really just remembering your power and stepping forward with such faith in who you are and your power in manifesting. In terms of self-care, it's going to be especially important for you to move your body in any way, shape, or form that you can. Do remember that we store energy within our body, and so so as you're continuing to release, it really feels like the bulk of the work you've already been doing prior to this lunar eclipse. And so it just feels like trust the universe to shake off whatever else needs to be shaken off, but also make sure that you're moving your body so that anything that might be still holding on, that might have rested in your muscles or in your bones, that whether it's stretching, whether it's exercise, whether it's qigong, whatever, right? But like some type of movement practice that allows you to move that energy throughout your body, because also remember that your body is a physical vessel that allows you and helps you to better manifest. And so that movement is going to be especially important for you in this time, in this ending of this eclipse season at the moment. But that is the reading. I hope that it resonates. It is a general reading, so as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, feel free to find those details in the description of this video below. Otherwise, I would love to have you go ahead and subscribe and follow along, like if this is something that did resonate, and leave a comment if you made it this far. All right, y'all. Beijinhos. I'll see you in the next one.